The House of Kings, Westminster Abbey, for 1,000 years, the cradle of royal power. And today, the setting for a royal wedding. Just a mile away, Buckingham Palace, where the young couple will one day live as King William and Queen Catherine. Their special day watched by vast crowds here in London, throughout the United Kingdom, and by a global audience. We think of up to 2 billion people. So the eyes of the world drawn to the heart of Westminster for a glorious pageant, a national celebration, and a royal love story. Yes, William and Catherine announced their engagement 5 months ago. They'll make their vows today, surrounded by friends and family, and watched by the rest of the world. It's going to be a day to remember, a day to celebrate and enjoy for all of us. A very good morning to all our viewers around the world, wherever you are. I'm Hugh Edwards, and here on BBC Television, we'll bring you the best of everything. The ceremony, the grand processions, the music, the crowds, the fashion, of course. And at the heart of it all, a young couple who've decided to spend the rest of their lives together as man and wife, and one day as king and queen. So after a tantalising wait, the big day is here at last. Today's events in London being shown by national and international broadcasters across 5 continents. It's thought that 1/3 of the world's population could be watching. But for thousands of people, of course, there's only one way to enjoy the day: by coming here to central London, getting the best possible vantage point on the route. And if that means sleeping outside, bag a place, well, that's the thing to do. It does have its rewards, by the way. Look what happened last night. For those who were patient and diligent, this is what they got. A visit, an impromptu visit from Prince Harry and Prince William. Prince William telling the crowd last night, just outside Clarence House, he was a bit nervous, and when asked what he was most concerned about, he said, "I've got to get my lines right." Well, anybody who's been in that position will sympathise, except that he's got quite a lot of people watching and listening to every single word. We've been talking to some of those people who've been camping out.
It feels like there's magic in the air.
Yeah.
The past few days, it's exciting.
Everyone's been very enthusiastic. No one's had any sleep.
Go back to bed. All right then. Good night.
I've been waiting here now for 5 days, and I'm so excited I can't cease it.
Lots more of that to come. Now, it is a tradition on these royal wedding days that the Queen, to recognise the importance of what's going on, grants a new title, and that is exactly what Her Majesty has done. I've just been passed this note by Buckingham Palace, and this is to say that the Queen has decided to grant 3 titles, no fewer than 3 titles, to Prince William today: Duke of Cambridge, Earl of Strathearn, and Baron Carrick-Fergus. That's a little taste of different parts of the United Kingdom there. Catherine, by the way, will become Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Cambridge. That's an interesting thing for us to talk about a little later, because I suspect that Prince William will want to be known as Prince William, and that'll carry on. But clearly there's a formality to these things, and there's a new title, the main one being the Duke of Cambridge. What I'd like to do now is to talk to you really about how things will unfold over the next few hours, just to give you a good sense of it. Everything starts and ends here at the Palace. This is where so many great British events are played out. Remember those unforgettable scenes at the Queen's Golden Jubilee back in 2002. And this is where today that grand carriage procession from the Abbey will arrive after the service. There's a real sense of excitement, anticipation, expectation. Fern Cotton is with the crowds for us today.
Thank you, Hugh. We have an undeniably brilliant view right outside Buckingham Palace. We'll be so close to William and Catherine later. We couldn't get any closer unless we were in the actual procession. Lots of lovely people have camped out. Hello there.
Hi.
Where have you come from?
I've come from Peterborough.
And when did you start camping out?
About 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon.
Was it an okay night under canvas?
Yeah, it was cold. Got about 20 minutes sleep, but that was it. But it was really fun, especially around the media centre. Everyone was sort of laughing, cheering. Sky News was going around, sort of making everyone cheer, and lots of singing, so it was good.
There's been a real sort of alliance in the campsites out here. Hello, Matthew.
Hello.
Have you made any friends?
Yeah, a few. Socialised with people around me, so yeah.
Good. You've made some friends. You've been in the hub of activity. Matthew, have a wonderful day. We'll be outside live Buckingham Palace all day long. Join us again later.
We certainly will, Fern. Thank you very much. Well, let's have a look at that long strip of red carpet that leads to the palace. It is, of course, the Mall, part of probably the most famous processional route in the world. It was created as a tribute to Queen Victoria a century ago by her son Edward VII, unveiled by George V back in 1911. And the best places on the Mall, of course, already taken. People have been fighting for position here for days. Very British thing, of course, done in a very genteel and polite way. And back in 1981, it's worth remembering, a schoolboy called David Cameron, now the occupant of 10 Downing Street, camped out here for the big day when Charles and Diana were married. Chris Hollins is our man on the Mall, and he's keeping tabs on things there.
We certainly are. A very good morning to everybody. As you can see, an extraordinary atmosphere down here, full of extraordinary people who've gone to extraordinary measures just to be here, camping overnight. And these guys are in prime position just across the road from Clarence House. They'll get the first glimpses of the groom and the best man, Princes William and Harry. All ages, all sizes from all over the world have made an effort. Some on their first camping trip, and they are speechless with excitement. Bailey and Jago. Hopefully we'll get a word with them a little bit later on. Back to you, Hugh.
Chris, thank you very much. Chris Hollins there for us. Now, as the cars leave the Mall, they'll be taking Catherine Middleton, her family, all the royal guests across this great expanse of Horse Guards Parade. It's a wonderful sight, famous throughout the world, of course, as the setting for Trooping the Colour on the Queen's official birthday in June every year. They'll go through the arch and onto Whitehall and past the Cenotaph, where the glorious dead of wars and conflicts are remembered, and then on a few metres past Downing Street, where David Cameron, Samantha Cameron, are holding their own street party today, and we'll be touching base with them in a short while. And then along Whitehall, just to the end of the road, we come to Parliament Square. Under the watchful eye of Sir Winston Churchill, crowds already lining the routes around the square, dominated, of course, by Big Ben and the Palace of Westminster, and just a few yards down Broad Sanctuary to their splendid destination, this centre of Christian worship for 1,000 years, Westminster Abbey. Fiona Bruce is there.
This will be the final part of Kate's last journey as a single woman. She'll make her way from Parliament Square, down Broad Sanctuary, past St Margaret's Church, past the north door of the Abbey, where the first guest will be arriving shortly. She'll then arrive at the great west door of Westminster Abbey, and she'll see for the first time the world's press. There's certainly enough of them, and then the crowds, of course. Some of whom have been camped out here for days. They're in fine voice, all waving their flags. And then at 11 a.m, Kate and her father Michael will emerge from the Queen's high-top Rolls-Royce, and we'll get our first glimpse of that dress in all its glory.
Fiona, thank you very much, of course. That's what we're all waiting for. The bride and her family have been staying not at a palace, not at Buckingham Palace or any other palace. They've been staying at the Goring Hotel, which is just around the corner, tucked on a street not far from Buckingham Palace. Whatever else is happening today, we all want to see the bride, of course, and the dress, which is absolutely crucial. The first glimpse, very lucky woman, might be for Anita Rani, who's covering things for us there. Anita.
I feel very lucky, Hugh. This is where we're going to get the first glimpse of Kate as she makes her way to the Abbey. She arrived early evening last night at the Goring Hotel with her mum and her sister Pip, looking nice and relaxed, waved to the crowd, had a nice chat with everybody. This morning, there's been lots of comings and goings. Let me tell you that at about 6:30 this morning, we had some of her relatives turn up with their suitcases ready to get ready. I'm sure they're all in there getting dressed. And then a little bit earlier, her brother James left the hotel, and everyone thought, where could he be going? Well, I can confirm, because a little birdie told me, that he's gone to have breakfast at Clarence House with his soon-to-be brother-in-law, Prince William. There's also some coaches behind me that are going to be taking all the extended family, which is making me smile, actually, because it's really reminding me of an Indian wedding. That's going to be taking all the extended family to the Abbey. But the three main questions of the day: how will she have her hair? How will she have her makeup? And who will she be wearing?
Questions, Anita, and we're looking forward to the answers. Thank you very much. Of course, the setting for the wedding couldn't be more impressive or majestic. Westminster Abbey, for 1,000 years the Coronation Church. The Abbey banner flying there, and will fly until the Queen arrives a little later on, when it'll be replaced with the Royal Standard. The final details being checked. I'm told the florists are there putting the final checks on the incredible display inside. We will reveal that in all its glory in a short while. But counting down to the moment when the Abbey doors are open to the world, and some 1,900 guests are allowed in to find their seats. Most of them are here as friends and acquaintances of the couple. That's a break with tradition, because normally at these royal weddings, the bulk of the congregation is made up of official guests. This time it's different, more than 1,000 of them, friends, acquaintances, personally known to William and Kate. Keeping an eye on them all, with the best possible view of the Abbey, is my colleague Sophie Rayworth.
Yes, and what a view it is, way up here above the crowds, with the Abbey's west door right behind me. This is where Prince William and Kate Middleton will arrive separately later this morning, then leave together just after noon as man and wife. So almost 2,000 guests will start filling the Abbey shortly, among them 80 from Kate and William's chosen charities. And two of those guests join me now: Neil Swan from the charity Starlight, which grants wishes for sick children, and Shay Overkin from Centrepoint, which helps get homeless young people back on their feet. Welcome, thank you very much for joining us. Did you expect to be invited this morning?
No.
I bet you got a shock when you got that invitation.
Absolutely. Quite incredible, really. My wife rang me from home and said, there's a letter here with the Lord Chamberlain's stamp on the front. Can I open it? And I didn't have the heart to say no, and she opened it to, squeals of delight that we'd both been invited